Hello. The known world of geese is home to many creatures, from animals like those of Earth to monsters straight out of fairy tales, and others that are on a spectrum between those. The people of geese have cultures and technologies similar to those of Earth's Middle Ages, so their understanding of the natural world is in a similar level. In this video I will explain how these people categorize animals and how those animals are actually related. At least in broad terms, because there's a lot of them. With the theory of evolution still a good way off, the people of geese use a linear progress model of life, with each group being a step in a ladder and the ones closer to the top being quote-unquote more advanced. Animals are categorized in the following groups in ascending order: worms, insects, fish, serpents, birds, beasts, and people. Worms can just as well be called the miscellaneous group, because this is where all soft-bodied invertebrates go, from actual worms to mollusks to even jellyfish. Not dragons though, those are in the serpents. They do however contain the krakens, as they are a type of mollusk. And the land isn't safe either, as the deathworm and the nightbane snail are worms that can harm people and roam the continents of the known world. The term insect in this context is used to describe basically all arthropods, as it refers to the joints of their cells. So anything with a segmented cell is an insect, according to the scholars of geese. They are mostly the same as the ones on Earth, with almost every major arthropod clade being represented, and their most monstrous versions are about the size of the largest Earth arthropods. Fish are weird. Some are similar to those of Earth, which are very weird already, and others are so different that we don't even know what they are. It also doesn't help that the oceans of geese are very understudied, so the scholars have very little to go by. When we hear the word serpent, we expect something serpentine, like a snake or a legless lizard. And even though those groups are present on geese, the scholars of the known world categorize all reptiles and amphibians as serpents. It is worth mentioning that even though many of Earth's reptiles exist here, they aren't related in the same way. The Archosaur-Lepidosaur split never happened on geese, so crocodiles, dinosaurs, snakes and dragons are all technically evolved lizards, which is synonymous with diapsid, if you wanna get technical. Birds are perhaps the easiest one. Think of a bird, and that's what the term describes on geese. In fact, there's actually less bird species on geese than on Earth, because some of their niches are filled by serpents. Don't write them off as boring though, as many birds are natural magic users, and on the more classically monstrous side, the gigantic roc is basically an avian Hatzegopteryx, the second largest flying animal on the planet, and only lives in an island at the edge of the known world, where it is the apex predator. Beasts are basically mammals, and unlike the serpents, they actually did follow a very similar evolutionary tree to those of Earth, with many being one-to-one like Earth mammals, and those that are monsters still fit inside of this evolutionary tree. All except for the beaked beasts, the griffons and relatives, which are as related to the other beasts are monotremes are to the other mammals, but they have little in common with them. In fact, the earthly monotremes are actually even weirder than the fantastical monsters that are the griffons. But all in due time. People are the intelligent species of geese. Humans are the most common, but there are others. Of those, only halflings are closely related to humans, with all the rest of them evolving intelligence independently. There's even some non-primate ones that live underwater. I'm not sure what else to say. For a general overview at least. I have a lot more to say, but I want to make dedicated videos for pretty much every animal and fictional creature that I have thought about in this setting. I have no plan on which order I should make them in, so if there is anything that you would like to see more, you tell me and I will prioritize it. Otherwise, I will just do them at random. See you in the next video and goodbye.